Tadej Pogacar and Jonas Vingegaard, one of the greatest rivalries in the whole of sport. It's similar to Bonen versus Cancellara, Le Monde versus Eno, Mathieu van der Poel versus Wout van Aert versus winning a major race, Alberto Contador versus Stakes, Tom versus Jerry, Geraint Thomas versus crashing, the Soviet Union versus the United States of America. All of the greatest rivalries we've ever seen in the past century or so. But Jonas Vingegaard and Tadej Pogacar could certainly be one of the greatest. However, I want to explain to you today how Tadej Pogacar is the better of the two riders using categorical facts and logic. I believe that Tadej Pogacar is better than Jonas Vingegaard for a few simple reasons and a few qualities that Pogacar has which Jonas doesn't, which includes these three things: racecraft, panache, and a little thing called charisma. Because Jonas Vingegaard, I'm not sure if you have seen any of his interviews, however, I feel more upbeat after hearing a eulogy than some of the things that he says, because his interviews are just so programmed. It feels like Jumbo-Visma have given him a cue card, and he isn't to stray from any of these answers in fear of bad media representation. However, as a consequence of this, he's ended up being a little bit stale in interviews, whereas Pogacar, on the other hand, starts saying things like this.
I'm dead.
Or this.
Croissant.
He provides a little bit of charisma, a little bit of fun to cycling, where perhaps it hasn't been that fun in the past. You know, the previous fun that we've had in interviews is when Cavendish stole that microphone from that reporter. Do you remember that? That was pretty funny. So I quite like Pogacar, because no, he's not stealing people's camcorders and microphones and stuff straight from their hands, but it's just good for the sport to have that personality. The other thing which I think makes Pogacar better than Jonas is his ability to do one-day races, because I think that is a true sign of a good bike racer. Because to win a one-day race, you need to be able to read a race, be able to attack and use your resources, your energy at the correct time in order to get the best result possible. And Pogacar has proven to be very good at this, whereas Jonas has proved to be pretty awful. Apart from one or two cases, to be fair to him, however, Pogacar is far better. So I would actually back a St. Piran rider forged in the fiery depths of the British road scene, which is pretty much dead. I would actually favour a St. Piran rider to have better racecraft than Jonas Vingegaard, because Jonas gets dragged to the bottom of a climb, does insane watts per kilo up a climb. I don't think that he has better racecraft than Pogacar does. Let's put it that way. I think that Jonas does have racecraft. We have seen him attack from further out before you people in the comment section start going a bit crazy. And this is proven by their one-day race record. So, would you... I have them written down here. Jonas Vingegaard's one-day race history over the last 2 years, the last 2 seasons. So, firstly, 2023. Let's take a look at that. Oh, wait, there's nothing. He hasn't done any one-day races in 2023. Boring. But anyway, let's take a look at 2022. Il Lombardia, a one-day race which suits Jonas more than most one-day races. He came 16th in that race, which isn't that great, considering that Pogacar won. He DNF'd Liège-Bastogne-Liège last year. He DNF'd La Flèche-Wallonne. He came 76 at Denain. To be fair, he won the Drôme Classic, but it was in February, and nobody is in form in February. Like, the only people who are in form in February are Tim Vellens and Kobe Cousins, and that's it. And then he came 33rd at the Fon Ardèche Classic. But then Pogacar literally slaps Jonas into the next, century. Because his performance in 2023 alone, his lowest finishing in a one-day race is 4th. 4th! He came 3rd at Worlds. He won Flanders. He won the Amstel Gold Race. He won La Flèche Wallonne. He came 3rd at E3. He came 4th at Milano-San Remo. In fact, the only one-day race that Tadej Pogacar didn't do well in this year was Liège-Bastogne-Liège, where he DNF'd, likely because he hit a pothole which was dug out by Patrick Lefevere in order to wipe out the nearest competitor to Remco Evenepoel's victory that day. In 2022, he won Il Lombardia, and he might still win Il Lombardia in this year, to be fair. He won Trevali Vallecine in 2022, he won the GP Montreal in 2022, and he won Strade Bianchi in 2022. You cannot say to me that Jonas Vingegaard is a better one-day racer than Pogacar, and as a consequence of that, you cannot say that Jonas Vingegaard has better racecraft than Tadej Pogacar does. If I was a team manager and I had the option of signing either Tadej Pogacar or Jonas Vingegaard to my team, I would choose Tadej every single day of the week because he wins over a greater variety of races. There is not one rider in the peloton right now who can be on the podium of the Tour de France and also be winning serious one-day races like the Ronde van Vlaanderen. Only Tadej Pogacar can do that, which is why I think that he's better. Because unlike Jonas Vingegaard, who only gets taken down from his carbonite chamber in Teed whenever he's required to come and bash some stage races, Tadej Pogacar actually gives the crowds what they want, which is entertaining, panache-filled, throw the kitchen sink at it attacks. So what have we learnt today? We learnt that Jonas Vingegaard and Tadej Pogacar are pretty much going to be one of the best rivalries in the sport for the next 5 years or so. But we have learnt that Tadej Pogacar is a more charismatic and generally a better racer than Jonas Vingegaard because he has better one-day results. And finally, we learnt today that Patrick Lefevere likely tried to murder Tadej Pogacar in order to secure Remco Evenepoel's victory at Liège-Bastogne-Liège.